Hello friends, Mark Holmes here, my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I'd probably go crazy. Well, I was supposed to work tonight, but unfortunately the museum we're working in is having a grand opening for the new area that we built out, and the museum's open late, and then they got CBS this morning that's coming in tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock to film, so we can't work on this till tomorrow night. So I'm headed on my way home here and getting there soon, get myself something to eat and go to bed, because 4:30 a.m. I'll be here real early. But there's something interesting today. Actually, it's not interesting, it's more tragic when you start hearing about it. Clinton Portis, former running back for the Washington Redskins. Very charismatic, and I'm sure I butchered that. Charismatic. Kind of out there a bit. Made over $54 million. But you hear the same story with a lot of professional athletes that have made a whole lot of money. A lot of them were prepared to make that kind of money and to be able to manage it. And the thing I always tell you guys is when you hear about these contracts, one, you don't necessarily get all of the money that you see when you hear these $100 million contracts. Two, you're paying a shitload of taxes as well as fees on the stuff. So it's not as much as it sounds. Don't get me wrong. It's a hell of a lot more than what I'm making. But then comes the lifestyle that goes along with it. You know, Clinton Portis was one of the ones that was always dressed to a T, you know, tons of cars, tons of houses and stuff, you know, buying houses for his mother and grandmother and all these things. But he was smart enough to try and invest some of it for down the road, and I applaud that, but the problem is the people he invested with were shady. Turns out it was a Ponzi scheme. But it wasn't just him. You hear about this with professional athletes all across the board. I mean, Terrell Owens, bad investments. Randy Moss. Hell, even Mark Brunell. I think he lost his, I want to say with Whataburger or some other food chain. A lot of these guys, when they leave the NFL, are already broke. Some of the ones you can kind of look at and think about now and know that they're going to be broke. When the last lockout happened, the NFL Players Association basically set up a fund for players to get money to tide them over during the lockout. And to me, that's unfathomable. With the amount of money that you guys are making, you should be able to put away enough to be able to make it 6 months without a paycheck. But evidently not. The thing you got to realize, I guess, is when you're in that limelight like that, people want to be you, they want to associate with you, they want to hang with you, they want to use you. So in 2013, when he retired, he was already in the hole. This investment group stopped returning phone calls. Stopped getting in contact. The money was gone. He won't state how many millions it was, but he made $54 million in his career, and he admits that he spent a lot of it on cars and women and homes and things like that, stuff that he no longer has. And when this shit was hitting the fan, basically it was women what soothed him. So he'd go to trips across to Europe and places like that with women that he didn't hardly even know. So, you know, spending more money and things. But he admits today that he was at the point of desperation, that he was ready to go for revenge and basically murder these investors that took all his money. And this is tragic. to have made $54 million, to have owned all these homes and all these cars, and now you're living in an apartment. And you have really nothing. This is a cautionary tale for you guys that are out there now. Understand that friends, family even, women, investors, everybody wants what you got. They don't care about you. Oh, they're going to smile and tell you how great you are and be part of that life of the party. But when that money's gone, they're not going to be there for you. You're going to be penniless, on your own, and in some cases, out in the streets. There's an old saying, or maybe it's an old song. When you got money, you got lots of friends. But when you don't, they don't come around. I'm glad that Clinton Portis didn't end up killing those guys. Although, no charges ever happened to him, of course. White-collar crime. They never go to jail. It was already tragic enough. The worst thing would be for him to spend the rest of his life behind bars. But don't get it wrong. I'm not rooting for the Redskins or Clinton Portis. But you got to feel for the guy who had it all. And when the lights went out, they literally went out. It's sad. So I count myself lucky.
Yeah, we lost like 36-0. Gosh.
So how you gonna change that?
At least we gotta score 3 points or maybe even 7.
Can you do that?
What do you think?
How is this rubbing off on you?
I think they seem to enjoy it. At least I do.